up. So we have been talking about maps and globes. When we see a map, we look for the rectangle on it.
Oh, yeah.
Solomon, that's twice now. Thank you. Who remembers? It had two words, depending on the map we looked at. Chloe H?
Key.
The map key, that's right. And this is very important, isn't it? We looked at map keys with Carowinds and water countries so we could find what kinds of places? Jace?
Bathrooms.
Bathrooms, very important when we go to the amusement park, aren't they? Chloe W?
And where you play the mountain.
Well, we're going to look at the mountains in a few minutes, but we're talking about the maps from yesterday. What were some of the things we looked for? Do you remember?
Polar bears.
No. Thank you. Izzy?
Keys.
The map key, right. We looked for bathrooms. What other kinds of features did we need to know where they were at the amusement park? Jace?
Something to eat.
Something to eat. What else? Ethan?
Band-aids.
The Band-Aids. The first aid station was important. We found that on the key. Sydney? Yes, if we have mommies or daddies who needed to find the smoking area, but should Miss Brixus see you there?
No.
Okay, just making sure. Haley? Sit, Keisha.
The phone.
The phone was important, right? In case we have to call home. Now, before we get started, I'm going to show you a map. It's a map to find the way from Little Red Riding Hood to the supermarket, right?
No.
To where?
Grandma's.
Grandma's house. Now, the next thing, in order to read our map, we need the map.
Key.
The key. The key is very important.
Or the map legend.
Or the map legend. Very good. If we do not have this, can we read the map very well?
No.
No. Okay, so the first thing on my map key is the compass. We already found that.
Yep.
Okay, the next thing, it's a landform. I'm not sure what landform it is. Sophia?
Mountains.
Mountains. Do you see those on our map? Can you come point to them? Okay, she's right. Sophia, do you remember what the difference is between a mountain and a hill? What?
Because that one's shorter and that one's taller.
You are right. Remember, hills are just kind of rolling like this. Jack and Jill went up the
hill.
They didn't go up the
Mountain.
Oh no. Thank you,
Jack
Sophia.
went up the mountain.
Right. Okay, so the next picture, Colin, what's this a picture of? This landform.
Hill.
Hill. Do you see any hills on our map? You're right. So far we already have two landforms on our map. Mountains and hills. Thank you. Now, something else. Jace, what do you see? Rocks. Where are the rocks? Okay, they're right in the front. Rocks aren't a landform if they're just small, right? They have to be big, like a canyon, in order to be a landform. Okay, thank you. Okay, I'm going to read you the story of Little Red
Riding Hood.
But in our story it says that Little Red Riding Hood went which way?
Over.
So she went over the hills. Over. Okay, let's see what happens next. She was careful to stay on the trail. She walked next to the rocks. Now, if she walked next to them, is she going to go through them?
No.
Is she going to go under them?
No.
Is she going to go around them?
Yes. Yeah.
No. It says she went what way?
Beside.
Beside or next to. That's
Or
right.
up.
She went beside or next to. She kept her eyes on those rocks because she wanted to make sure there were no snakes bathing in the sunshine. Snakes come out in the summer, don't they? So we don't want to climb through the rocks. As she passed beside the rocks, she entered into and walked through.
The grass.
Hmm?
Forest.
No, I see a landform up here that we maybe walk through. Do you remember what it's called, Ivory?
Valley.
The valley. It says she walked through the valley. So she didn't go up the sides.
No.
She went in the middle. She went through the valley. But then she noticed a butterfly. Oh, it was beautiful, and it was flying from flower to flower. Without realizing what Little Red was doing, she began to follow the butterfly. Soon, from behind a tree, the wolf was watching her. "Why, hello there, little girl," he said. "What beautiful flowers you have." Alarmed. Alarmed means frightened. Show me an alarmed face. That's right. Alarmed, Little Red Riding Hood was about to run. But just then, she saw the wolf smiling. She began to relax because she wanted the wolf to be her friend. Uh-oh. Didn't we learn about stranger danger?
Yeah.
Oh, is Little Red following those rules?
No.
She is not. "Hello," said Little Red Riding Hood to the wolf. "Why, where are you going with such a beautiful bouquet of flowers?" said the wolf. "I'm going to my grandmother's house at the base of the mountain." Uh-oh. Little Red just broke another stranger danger rule. When people ask us where we live, do we tell them?
No.
Do we tell them where we're going?
No.
Oh, no.
Because then they might follow them.
They might follow you. You're right. So Little Red Riding Hood is not following the rules, is she? No.
I'm squished.
"My grandma's not feeling well today," she said, "and this basket of goodies I have is for her." "Oh, what a sweet granddaughter you are," said the wolf. And then he had an evil thought.
Eater.
You think he's going to eat her?
Yes.
Is that what you're inferring from
No,
this text?
he's going to eat them.
Right there in the forest, he's just going to chomp her?
Yes. No.
Well, let's see. The wolf said, "Well, you have a nice visit, and be very careful. You should remember to stay on the trail," said the wolf. "Bad things can happen to you in the forest." And with that, the wolf waved at Little Red Riding Hood and took off through the forest. Now,
He's following her.
if he left first, is he following her? I think that the wolf might be taking a different path, and I think the wolf might be going through the forest right up to Granny's door. What do you think?
Yes.
Let's see what Little Red Riding Hood does. And it says, Little Red Riding Hood went back to the trail the way she came. So she went back this way to get on the trail. Uh-oh. Who do you think's going to get there first?
The wolf.
Why do you think the wolf's going to get there first?
He took the shorter path. So he can pretend that he's the wolf. That he's the grandma.
All right, you're right, Ethan. He took the shorter path, so he's going to get there faster, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's see what happens. Meanwhile, it says, the wolf was at the cottage, and the cottage was at the base of the mountain, just like Little Red Riding Hood had said. He quickly tied up the grandmother and put her in the closet. Then he donned Grandma's nightgown, pajamas or nightie, depending what you call it, and he crawled into her bed. "Come closer!" Uh-oh. Little Red Riding Hood walked even closer. Let's see what happens. Hold on. Finally, Little Red Riding Hood noticed big, sharp teeth. "Grandma, what big teeth you have," said Little Red Riding Hood. "The better to eat you with, my dear." And just as he yelled that, the wolf leaped. How do you leap? Yeah, you kind of jump out. All right, sit down. He leaped out of bed and lunged. That means he tried to grab Little Red Riding Hood, but his nightgown caught the bedpost and he tumbled to the floor.
What does that mean?
That means when he went to jump out, here's the bed, and his nightie got stuck, and he couldn't keep going, and he went thunk. Yep. Little Red Riding Hood was just about to run out the front door when in walked her father. He had been chopping firewood in the forest. See the forest on the map?
Yeah.
Okay. And he decided to stop by and have lunch with his mother. He quickly jumped to action and captured the wolf. And Little Red Riding Hood learned an important lesson. What do you think the lesson she learned was? Why did we read this? Ethan, do you have any idea what she learned?
Not to go inside the woods anymore.
Not to go inside the forest. And another one, don't get off the path, right? Stay on your path. Don't go in the forest. And don't, everybody tell me. Do you know?
Talk to strangers.
Talk to
I
strangers.
was
That's
about
what
to
you were
say
trying
that.
to tell me, right? Don't talk to strangers.
I know.
Okay, now, we're going to do some stations today. When we go to stations, you're only going to do one today. Now, the first thing we need to do is write the words for the places on our map. That's a valley, great. Now what goes on the top of the valley on each side?
You might get money, but you wouldn't buy them.
Good.
Take your turn.
Very nice. All right, we're going to write the word valley together when you're done. Yeah.
That's the first.
When we write the words for the grandmas, do we want to call it a house or a cottage? Okay, let's raise our hand. Who says house? 3 house. Who says cottage? Okay, you voted twice, Izzy. House or cottage? Okay, we're writing house. Okay, everybody, here we go. What sound makes it that? Find our map. Now let's see if we can remember what Little Red did first. What did she do with the hills? Okay, draw over the hills. Where'd she go next?
The valley rock.
No. What did she do with the rocks, Ivory? She went next to. Beside is it too. Okay, so draw over the hills, next to the rocks. Then where'd she go? Izzy? Where'd she go after she went next to the rocks? Into. She went through. Now, if you have her path done, choose a different color and show me the path the wolf took. Don't stress. My best advice is no matter how well you plan for a lesson, as you can see, children have a mind of their own and they will ask things you didn't plan about, and children will get stepped on and have to go to the bathroom, and the best thing you can do is just teach to the moment and go with it so that you don't stress the kids out, and they'll still learn.